I was the strong one. I was the one that nobody ever checked on. Everybody just thought I had it all together and I didn't need any help. Truth be told, I didn't have anything together. I had just mastered acting strong on the outside, regardless of what was going on the inside. I come from a large family. I'm number 6 of 12 children. People tell me how much fun that must have been. As a kid, it's not. My father, he was a U.S. Air Force soldier and a Golden Gloved boxer. He ran our house like a military unit. We had foot lockers, bunk beds, chore schedules, and inspections. Everything was about discipline, structure, and order. He taught us to do things right or don't do them at all. And failure was not an option. My dad was hardcore. I've never seen him weak, uncertain, or emotional. He did work tirelessly to provide for the family, but affection was not a part of the deal. As far as having conversations about life and feelings, that wasn't happening. As a military family, we moved about every 3 years. So I never had lifelong friends. I suppose my siblings were supposed to be that for me. That's not the way it worked out. We were physically living together, but we really weren't practicing emotional connectedness. We really weren't having the conversations that we needed to have to help each other. In fact, we were taught not to discuss things that happened in our home. So if something bad happened to you, you just kept it to yourself. During my childhood, I endured sexual trauma by 2 people I should have been able to trust. Those violations left scars on my mind and my body, including chronic pelvic pain, depression, anger, and low self-esteem. By high school, I wanted to become a computer scientist, but I didn't have money for college. So I joined the Army. I joined because I thought it would make my dad proud. But I also joined because we had to leave home by 18. I actually got my teeth wired shut to lose the weight to join the Army. To me, the military was way easier than being at home. Their level of discipline was nothing compared to my dad. The military got me away from home, and it gave me my first glance at becoming an individual and not child number 6. As expected, I excelled in the military. I already knew how to do what I was told. I was physically strong, and I knew how to act strong in almost any situation. But as you know, our bodies have rights over us. It wasn't long before the pain I held inside manifested externally in chronic headaches and physical distress. As you can imagine, I saw doctor after doctor only to be told there was nothing physically wrong with me. Eventually, I was sent to a therapist, something I never thought I'd do because I knew Black people didn't go to therapy. Oh, but I went because going back home was not an option. It wasn't until I started regular mental health sessions that I realized that not speaking up was making me very sick. Up to that point in my life, I had pushed through all the motions that were expected of me. You know that cookie cutter template that we're all taught. Go to school, get that good job, buy a house, have 2 kids, white picket fence, a dog. I did all of those things, again, because I was great at doing what I was told. At the same time, I blamed myself for all of the things that had happened to me. As number 6, I became a perfectionist, a classic overachiever, in my attempt to stand out from 11 siblings. And I was desperately seeking validation from my parents. No matter how much I achieved, becoming a computer scientist, earning 4 degrees, competing in the military Olympics, and even receiving a medal from an American president, never seemed to be enough. Let me tell you, being a type A, perfectionist, and overachiever is exhausting. I just kept saying to myself, be strong. Failure is not an option. So why y'all didn't tell me about therapy though? I didn't know what to expect. I just didn't know what to expect from going to therapy, and I didn't know anyone who had gone. But it didn't take long for me to realize that it was going to be a safe place for me to discuss those things that had happened to me and figure out what I needed to do to move myself forward. Therapy did not give me answers. It just helped me identify my options and make my own decisions. Moving forward was a very slow process. I made progress by confronting some people that hurt me and by giving myself permission to say no without feeling guilty. Yes, try it. And by believing that I was not to blame for those bad things that happened to me as a child. I was unlearning poor habits and learning good habits that were good for me and not for everybody else. Learning new habits, not easy either. One therapist told me to hug my father even if he didn't hug me back. He said, tell him I love you, even if he doesn't say it back. Well, that was hard and it was hurtful. But eventually, my dad said, I love you too. I didn't much get to hug him because he wasn't that kind of guy. But I could kiss him on his forehead when he got older, and I did. I was 40 years old. Not doing it. I was 40 years old before my dad told me he was proud of me. I had spent my entire life waiting to hear those words from him. Those words melted years of longing for validation. And that part of me began to heal and get stronger every day. But I was still in a constant state of physical pain most of the time. And after several more years of doctors dismissing pain, I finally found one that listened. A hysterectomy changed my life. Through all of this, I was insecure and my self-esteem was non-existent. The thing about having low self-esteem is that you make poor decisions, especially in your relationships. After several failed relationships, I had to face a hard truth. I was the common link. Of course, I had an idea what love was supposed to be, but I didn't grow up with the examples. So I knew I had more work to do before I could love myself and someone else be able to love me. So it took a few more years of hard work and healing. But now I absolutely love myself. I love my family and I love my life. I no longer need validation, and I no longer feel the need to compete with anyone except myself. Although my dad was tough, I learned that he was a product of his own upbringing. And I know now that his love for us was shown in his hard work and sacrifices. My siblings, they turned out to become my lifelong best friends, and each of them is amazing in their own right. I have 2 incredible adult children, and at 53, I found my soulmate, Bashir Ali. That's important. In the end, all of that pain had purpose. Pain is what forced me to seek out the answers and fill in the gaps that would create the woman I needed to be, and not the woman others wanted to see. It took time, and I did not do it alone. And guess what really got me through it all? Strength. Real strength that I didn't even know I had. Oh, I still have a therapist from time to time, even a strong one who needs a little help now and then. Last December, I lost my dad. While I'm proud to be strong like he was, I'm more proud to be strong in my own way. And yes, I am still the strong one that nobody really checks on, but I no longer have to act strong because I am strong.